Hi everyone, so this is our introductory video to spreadsheets using Microsoft Excel. This version of Excel I'm using is 2013, but anything from Excel 2007 onwards will be perfectly fine. So you know that your spreadsheet is essentially a giant table made up of rows going left to right and columns going up and down. The rows are numbered and the columns have letters, and where the row and the column intersect we call that a cell. So this cell that has been selected is cell G7, and we see that here as well in the name box. Cell G7 is this selected cell. In the cell we can type in information, we can type in values, which are generally numbers like these here. We can type in labels, which are usually text information, but you can see here we have some labels which are numbers as well because they represent years. And we can also type in formulas. So for instance, if we want to get the total number of products over the years, we will type in a formula equal C2 plus D2 plus E2. Hit enter. So notice that the result of the formula is displayed in the cell, and in the formula bar up here we are seeing the actual formula that we typed in. Now to get this formula copied, you can either use one of the copy options like right click copy, use the copy icon up here, or use your keyboard shortcuts. But a better way to copy formulas in Excel is to use the fill handle. So notice in the selected cell here there's a little square. I put my cursor over it, it turns to a little black cross, and I simply click and drag down, and I have copied my formula. Anytime I have values anywhere in my spreadsheet, I should always have some kind of label explaining what the value is. So we have a bunch of numbers in this column here. So at the top, I'm going to put in the label total. So I simply select the cell and start typing. If I make a mistake and I want to edit what's in the cell, I can double click in the cell and make the change, then hit enter, or I can use this little enter button here as well to accept the change. I can also insert rows and columns to add data. So notice I have 2003 and then 2005. So I'd like to enter a column for 2004 between columns C and D. So I'm going to right click after C, that's after the insertion point, right click and insert, and a column is going to appear here for 2004. Now if I just type 2004, it's going to enter as a number in the cell. So notice that the numbers are aligned to the right of the cell, and text values here, labels, are aligned to the left of the cell by default. So to enter a number to use as a label, I'm going to type quotation mark followed by the number, and notice it goes to the left like a label. Here now I'm going to put in the values for 2004. I can also insert rows in the same way. For instance, if I wanted to insert a row between the current rows 5 and 6, I will right click on 6 after the insertion point. So that's right click and insert. So a new row was formed there. If I decide I don't want a row or a column, I simply right click on either the row number or column letter and select delete. Now I also want to insert some rows at the top so that I can put a nice heading for my table of information. So I want it to go above row 1, so I'm going to right click on row 1 and insert a couple of rows here. And then I can type in If I want to move a cell, I can select the cell, make sure my cursor changes to a four-sided arrow, then click and drag somewhere else. So I can do that with cells containing anything. I can move these formulas here across, leave some space if I want, and notice that the result of the formulas remain the same. I didn't have to change anything with the formulas themselves. I could actually move the data, the values that are used in the formulas as well, and notice how the formula itself is updated using columns C, columns E, and columns G. So let's undo that. Now, another thing that you can do with the spreadsheet is that you can copy some of this information to use in another sheet here. So I just added another worksheet, and let's say I want to get just the product IDs and the totals copied to this sheet here. So I can select all of the product IDs and use my keyboard shortcuts to paste it into the second worksheet. So notice all of them come across here. And let's say I want the totals. Totals here. And notice we run into a little problem. This is because all of the formulas are now referencing cells in the current worksheet where there are no values. Remember, this totals column used values to the left of it, in columns to the left, and here now we have no values to the left of it, so my totals are not showing up. What I need to do if I want the totals is that I have to link these cells. I'm just going to delete here. I have to link these cells to the ones in sheet 1. So there are two ways I can do this. I can right click and select copy on the original cell, then select sheet 2, right click and use paste special, then say paste link, and notice that the value comes up here. When I click on the total, I see that the formula is actually not an addition, but a reference to a cell in sheet 1. Another way we can do it is to select the destination cell first. Type equal sign, then click on sheet 1 and select the cell that I want copied over. Then I will just hit enter. When I do that, then I can simply copy downwards all of those values, and let's see. Yes, compare them. They are the same values from sheet 1. I can only do that with the second option, not the first. So this is the original table here in sheet 1, and you may have noticed when I inserted a column with the date for 2004 that the formula to get the total number of products was not updated. It still only references columns C, E, and F. We also want it to reference column D. Sometimes this happens when you insert a column or a row. You may have to go back in and fix those formulas. Okay, so we want to edit a formula here, so I select the cell and I'm going to select the point in the formula that I want to make the change, which is just about here. So I'm just missing column D, so it's C4 plus, and I'm just going to select the cell D4, put in an equal sign there, and now I have the formula that I want. So I hit enter, and I'm just going to copy back down the formula here. So in this video, we reviewed a couple of things, just some spreadsheet basics, how to use cell references here, how to insert different kinds of data, labels, values, and formulas, how to edit this information, how to insert and delete rows and columns, how to copy information in cells, including how to copy formulas, how to move cells around, and also how to link cells in another worksheet. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching.